You wake up, open your charts, and step into the noise again. The candles move, your mind races. Another week begins. You tell yourself this week will be different. You'll stay calm. You'll follow your plan. You'll finally trade like the version of you you've always imagined. But by Friday, you're left wondering what really changed. Did you grow? Did you learn? Or did you just survive? Most traders look at their results and mistake activity for progress. But true progress doesn't live in the chart. It lives in the mind that reads it. This is your time to stop, to step back, and to review the only system that truly matters, yourself. This is your weekly review in 12 minutes. 3 metrics, 1 purpose. To understand how your mind traded this week, not your money, your mind. Because trading is not about predicting the market. It's about mastering your response to it. So take a breath, silence the noise, and let's begin. You think progress means profit. You think a green week is a good week and a red one means you did something wrong. But trading doesn't care about your balance. The market only mirrors your behavior. Every week, traders chase charts, review setups, mark support and resistance, and yet they never look in the one place that defines everything, their own mind. You can't improve what you don't observe. And that's why the weekly review exists, not to measure your P&L, but to measure your psychology. Because trading isn't a battle with the market. It's a quiet war between your discipline and your impulses. 12 minutes. That's all you need. 12 minutes of radical honesty can change how you see your performance. 12 minutes to look beyond outcomes and into your process. This review isn't about numbers or strategies. It's about clarity. It's about building a relationship with the one person who can make or break your trading career, you. So today we'll talk about the 3 metrics that matter more than profit or loss. 3 mental mirrors that reflect how you truly performed this week. The first one is discipline. Discipline isn't about control. It's about alignment between your plan and your behavior. Most traders know what they should do. Few actually do it. Because when money is on the line, logic fades and emotion takes the wheel. You tell yourself, this time I'll wait for confirmation. But then the candle moves faster than expected and you click buy, a small, almost innocent betrayal that costs far more than you realize. You break your rules not because you're reckless, but because in that moment your brain believes emotion is truth. It whispers, this feels right. And so you follow it. But the market doesn't reward emotion. It rewards consistency. So ask yourself this simple question. How many trades this week followed your plan exactly? Not roughly, not close enough, exactly. Was your entry in line with your rules? Did you manage risk as planned? Did you stop when your daily limit hit? Or did you convince yourself to take one more trade? Every almost cost discipline points. Every rationalization pushes you further from mastery. You can score yourself simply. 10 means perfect discipline. 0 means total chaos. But the number doesn't matter. What matters is the honesty behind it. When you lie to yourself in trading, the market will always tell you the truth. A trader with high discipline doesn't win every trade. They just stop fighting themselves. They understand that execution is their only control. The outcome is noise. Maybe you didn't make money this week. Maybe you even lost. But if you stay disciplined, you are growing in ways profit can't measure. Because consistency builds confidence, and confidence builds calm. Without calm, there is no clarity. And without clarity, there is no edge. So when you sit down for your weekly review, forget about the P&L column. Ask, did I show up as the trader I planned to be? Because that answer, not your equity curve, defines your trajectory. You are not rewarded for reacting fast. You are rewarded for waiting with patience. Every time you obey your plan, you teach your mind to trust itself. Discipline isn't built in silence. It's built in temptation. Every moment you resist the urge to chase or overtrade, you're reinforcing a neural pathway training your brain to follow reason over emotion. You are literally rewiring yourself with every disciplined action. This is why the weekly discipline score matters. It's your compass. It tells you how closely your actions matched your intentions. Because the distance between those two, intention and action, is where all emotional pain lives. When you narrow that gap, peace follows. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be aligned. So as you close this week, ask, how disciplined was I not to judge yourself, but to see yourself clearly? If the number is low, that's not failure, that's feedback. It's the market showing you where your mind still needs training. Write it down. Number one reflection, one small step closer to mastery. Because trading is never about the market. It's always about the mind that meets it. And your discipline is the bridge between the two. You think the hardest part of trading is finding the perfect entry. But the real challenge is staying centered once you're in. The charts move. Your heart follows. The screen flashes red and green, and suddenly your mind starts narrating stories that have nothing to do with reality. You call it market noise, but most of the noise comes from inside your own head. You know that feeling the moment your plan fades and instinct takes over. You stop trading your system and start trading your emotions. The market becomes a mirror showing you every piece of fear you've been hiding. Fear of losing, fear of missing out, fear of being wrong, fear of being behind. Each one disguises itself as logic. Each one whispers justifications. You tell yourself, this setup looks good, but deep down you know it's not part of your plan. You click anyway because the emotion feels stronger than reason. That's not weakness, that's biology. Your brain is wired for survival, not performance. It doesn't care about long-term consistency. It cares about immediate relief. So it pushes you to take action when you're uncomfortable to escape uncertainty through movement. And yet every impulsive trade only feeds the discomfort. It's a loop, and most traders live their entire careers inside it. The emotion metric. This is why you need the second metric, emotional stability. It's not about being emotionless. It's about awareness, about noticing your emotions before they hijack your decisions. So this week, ask yourself, what state was I in when I traded calm, centered, frustrated, anxious? Write it down before you trade, after you trade, and when you review. Because the pattern will appear faster than you think. You'll see that your bad trades weren't caused by bad setups. They were caused by bad states. Your environment, your sleep, your stress, your distractions, they all bleed into the screen. Every click is a reflection of the mind behind it. When you rate your emotional stability, you're not grading your feelings. You're grading your response to them. Did you notice when fear showed up? Did you breathe before clicking? Did you step back after a loss, or did you try to win it back immediately? That difference between awareness and reaction is the gap between chaos and composure, the illusion of control. You can't control the market, but you can control the state in which you meet it. When your emotions run high, your perception narrows. You stop seeing opportunities. You start seeing threats. Every candle becomes personal. Every tick feels like judgment. But the market doesn't know you exist. It's not punishing you. It's not rewarding you. It's just moving. The story you attach to that movement creates your suffering. This is why emotional work is trading work. There's no separation. If you can't regulate your emotions, you can't regulate your execution. And if you can't regulate your execution, you can't regulate your results. How to measure emotional stability. At the end of each trading day, give yourself 1 minute. Ask, how emotionally stable was I today? 10 means calm, composed, in full control. 0 means reactive, impulsive, tilted. But don't judge yourself. Observe yourself. because the goal is not to feel perfect, it's to feel present. If you felt fear but still followed your plan, you've already won. That's mastery. Courage isn't the absence of emotion, it's movement despite it. Every week as you record this metric, you'll start to see a map of your inner market. You'll notice patterns, certain times of day, certain days of the week, certain emotions that repeat themselves. These are not random. They are your hidden trading strategy, the one you never studied but always execute. And awareness of this inner strategy is how you change it. When the mind tilts, everyone tilts, even the best traders. The difference is that professionals recognize the tilt before it costs them. They stop, they step away, they breathe. Retail traders, on the other hand, keep clicking, trying to fix emotion with action, but action doesn't fix emotion. Stillness does. So in your weekly review, don't just count trades. Count moments of clarity, moments where you noticed a trigger and chose not to react. Those are invisible victories, the ones that compound over time into mastery. Emotional awareness as edge. The market rewards awareness, not prediction, not aggression, but awareness. If you know your mind better than the average trader, you will outperform them even with the same strategy. Because trading is not about information, it's about interpretation. And your emotional state filters everything you see. Calmness expands perception. Anxiety narrows it. That's why emotional stability is an edge. The calmer you are, the clearer you see. The clearer you see, the better you act. The better you act, the less you fear. And the cycle begins again in your favor. Your journal as a mirror. Your trading journal is not a notebook. It's a mirror. It doesn't care how smart you sound or how clean your charts look. It only reflects how honest you are. When you open it for your weekly review, don't look for patterns in price, look for patterns in emotion. You'll find that every poor decision was preceded by the same emotional fingerprint. Maybe it's boredom, maybe it's frustration, maybe it's the rush of wanting to prove something. If you can name it, you can manage it. If you can observe it, you can outgrow it. That's how emotional intelligence becomes trading intelligence. Awareness over perfection. There will be weeks when your emotions get the best of you. You'll break rules. You'll chase losses. You'll overtrade. But those are the weeks that teach you the most if you're willing to see clearly. Awareness is the first stage of control. Without it, you're just reacting. With it, you begin to choose. Every week, you're not reviewing trades. You're reviewing choices because your results are nothing more than the sum of your decisions. And your decisions are shaped by your emotional state. So track that state, name it, observe it, and most importantly, forgive yourself when you slip. Forgiveness resets the nervous system. Judgment keeps it tense. Your goal isn't to suppress emotion. It's to let it move through you without dictating your behavior. That is the art of calmness, and calmness is power. When you sit down this weekend, open your journal and give yourself a number, not for how much you made, but for how steady you were. Emotional stability isn't something you find. It's something you practice. Every trade, every trigger is an invitation to know yourself deeper. And the trader who knows themselves cannot be defeated by the market. You spend the week inside the charts, watching, waiting, reacting, adjusting. But when it ends, there's one question most traders never ask. How did I think this week? Not what you traded, not what you earned, but how you thought. Because in trading, your thoughts are your system. They frame what you see, how you interpret risk, and when you act. And when your thinking becomes reactive, the market becomes chaos. When your thinking becomes structured, the market becomes rhythm. That's the final metric quality of thinking. Seeing the market versus seeing yourself. Most traders think they're analyzing the market, but they're actually analyzing themselves. When you study a chart, you're really studying your patience. When you wait for confirmation, you're measuring your self-control. When you journal your trades, you're observing your ego, the part of you that always wants to be right. The truth is, trading is just a reflection of how you think under uncertainty. Every trade exposes the structure of your mind. Do you think in probabilities or absolutes? Do you seek validation or understanding? Do you chase outcomes or do you study process? Your answers reveal your edge or your weakness. The thinking audit. When you review your week, take a moment to audit your thoughts. Ask yourself, what patterns did I follow automatically? What beliefs controlled my reactions? Maybe you still believe that one good trade can erase a week of mistakes. Maybe you still think you can control randomness by trying harder. Maybe you still think success means being right more often. Those thoughts sound logical, but they quietly sabotage you. Because profitable thinking isn't about being right, it's about staying objective. The moment you need the market to do something, you've already lost clarity. Desire blurs perception. Attachment kills insight. The best traders think like scientists. They don't predict, they observe, they test, they adapt. They know the goal is not to be correct, it's to be consistent in logic. That's what quality thinking means. It's thinking that aligns with reality, not with emotion. So rate yourself. This week, how clear was your mind? How often did you think in probabilities, not predictions? How often did you respond with patience, not impulse? A high score doesn't mean you were perfect. It means you were aware. And awareness is everything. The triangle of mastery discipline, emotional stability, quality of thinking. These three metrics form the foundation of mastery. They feed each other. They reveal each other. When you're disciplined, your emotions calm down. When you're emotionally stable, your thinking clears up. When your thinking is clear, discipline feels effortless. You can't build one without touching the others. They form the triangle of trading psychology, a structure strong enough to hold you steady through volatility, uncertainty, and time. The 12-minute review. Now that you know the three metrics, you only need 12 minutes each week to review your performance. Not 12 minutes of analysis, 12 minutes of honesty. Spend the first 3 minutes reviewing your discipline score. Ask, did I follow my plan? Write one reason why you did and one reason why you didn't. Spend the next 4 minutes on emotional stability. Ask, when did I lose balance? Note the trigger, the moment, the cause. Then spend another 4 minutes on quality of thinking. Ask what assumptions guided my weak list, one belief that helped you and one that hurt you. Use the final minute to write one sentence, a single intention for the next week. Not a goal, an intention. Something like, I will act slower. I will accept small losses gracefully. I will focus on execution, not outcome. That sentence becomes your anchor, your reminder, your reset. 12 minutes. That's all it takes to turn chaos into clarity. Because awareness compounds. And every week you practice it, your mind becomes a little stronger, a little quieter, a little more like the market itself, fluid, patient, and vast. Beyond the numbers. You'll notice something after a few weeks of doing this review. You'll start to care less about results and more about behavior. You'll stop chasing performance and start studying presence. You'll stop needing the market to reward you and start rewarding yourself for how you show up. That shift is when trading becomes meditation. The screen becomes a mirror. Every trade a lesson. Every mistake a message. You'll realize that your greatest competition was never other traders. It was your own resistance to awareness. When you master that, you don't just trade better, you live better. The quiet edge. The world praises aggression, speed, and prediction, but the market rewards stillness, patience, and perception. Your real edge isn't your setup, it's your state. When your state is calm, you see opportunity others can't. When your mind is still, you notice patterns others ignore. When you act from alignment, the outcome no longer defines you. And when you no longer need the win, that's when you start to win consistently. The gentle challenge. So this weekend, don't scroll through charts. Don't chase the next system. Sit down, open your journal, and give yourself 12 quiet minutes. Be honest, be curious, be kind. Write your 3 numbers: discipline, emotional stability, quality of thinking. Then breathe. Look at them not as grades, but as mirrors. Ask yourself, what story do these numbers tell? That story is your true performance report. It's the one the market already knows. Every week you repeat this ritual, you'll build something no algorithm can teach: inner stability, the kind that holds steady when everything around you moves. That's the hidden skill of the elite trader, to stay unmoved in motion, to stay conscious while the world reacts. And you can start that journey right now with 12 minutes a pen and the willingness to see yourself clearly. You don't need more indicators. You don't need more strategies. You need a mirror and the courage to look into it. Because when you understand your mind, the market stops being your enemy. It becomes your teacher. And every lesson it gives you is a step toward mastery, not just in trading, but in life. So take 12 minutes this week, sit in silence, write, reflect, review, and when you're done, don't thank the market. Thank yourself for having the discipline to see, the emotional strength to feel, and the clarity to think, because that's where all progress begins. Not on the screen, but within you. Close your journal. Look at what you wrote. Those 3 numbers: discipline, emotional stability, quality of thinking. They are not scores. They are mirrors. Each week they reflect a little more truth back to you. Some weeks the reflection will feel heavy. Some weeks it will feel clear. But every week it will move you closer to the trader you're meant to become. You don't need to conquer the market. You only need to understand yourself well enough to meet it with calm, because the market rewards clarity, and clarity begins with awareness. 12 minutes, that's all it takes. 12 minutes to reset your mind. 12 minutes to build the habits that turn volatility into opportunity. If you can do that, if you can review your week with honesty, you'll be ahead of 90% of traders who never look inward. So as you close this video, remember this: the charts may show the story of your trades, but your mind tells the story of your growth. And the deeper you know that mind, the more peaceful your trading becomes. You are not here to chase the market. You are here to master yourself. Take your 12 minutes, and I'll see you next week inside the silence where mastery begins.